Hey guys, we're gonna be working in the freestall barn today, doing some more maintenance. We built this barn in 2004. Some things are starting to wear out here and there. We're having to replace, put some time and money into it, but we gotta keep things working. So all these headlocks are starting to rust out a bit. The real issue we're having right now is these top bars. These are made to slide the whole way down through. When you wanna lock the headlocks, pull the lever, the whole thing slides down and it drops these down into place. So when the cow's eating, it'll lock her in and then release them. In two of the groups, this top pipe is broken in a couple different spots. So right now we have this vice grip on this one holding it and it's actually broken right here. So when you go to lock it, it'll push it down, but then you go to unlock it and it won't pull it back. So we have to go manually pull this back. We got new pipe to replace this top piece. My dad and Andrew already got started here. They cut all these old pipes out of this group 1. And now we got these new sections to slide in. So they got the old ones cut off. They had to cut it at every single spot because they had all these with the Allen key. This is all rusted on, so they couldn't remove these easily. They just cut every section out. They pull these apart. And now we got the new pipes with the new clamps.
Alright, that's good, yeah.
Just gotta make sure we get these rings at the right spot while we're sliding these pipes in, because we can't move them once they're in here. Gotta have one in this first gap and then one in here. We got the pipe in the first group. My dad's gonna tighten all the collars. That pipe had 2 different breaks in it for a month or 2 here. It was a pain. So now we're gonna go do that group. These collars are all rusted on. There's no way we can get these loose. There we go. That did not take long at all. I'm hoping these headlocks have a good 5 years of life left on them at least. So far this side hasn't given us any trouble. These don't seem quite as rusty. We just did those 2 groups. We tie the cows in at least 2 mornings a week, usually a couple extra times whenever we need, and they're not working right. It's pretty annoying.
Back, like you just put it in and then
My dad just went and picked up this used trim chute. We've been thinking for a while it'd be nice to have some sort of chute so we could lift a cow's foot up if she's sore. We have a hoof trimmer, it comes once a month, but that's not really often enough. Sometimes we got a sore cow that needs to be addressed. There's some local companies that make them. I hadn't heard of this brand before. It's a Easy Chute. This is a used one we got for a pretty good price. You can lift up the front legs out the side here, and then the back legs, there's just these hand cranks. It was the right price and should be able to do the job for us, so kind of excited to start learning how to work on hooves. We're gonna have to figure out a spot to set this now, somewhere that's handy we can get a cow into here without too much trouble. That's the key. If you can't access it easily, you're not gonna use it a lot, so it needs to be something you can easily get to. It's got a little bit of rust on the bottom. We're gonna try and paint it up. I'm glad we were patient because the local company that builds these, you can get them for like $7,000 or $8,000. They're a little more elaborate than this style, but we waited around and then found this one used, and it should be pretty easy to pull their feet up. Just gotta strap it on here and then crank it, lift the foot up against here, and the front legs. Put this strap around them and just lift them up to here. You can work on them. It does have those belly straps that go underneath the cow if she's not going to stand on her other 3 legs. You could use those. This just hinges out of here somehow. We'll figure out how all this stuff works. So wherever we set it, we have to have space on both sides to work, plus both ends for them to run in and out.
You have to work out. You don't really have, I mean, one side, I think.
My dad's gonna work clean this bottom frame up and painting it, and then we're gonna be able to get it installed soon. I need to learn some things about trimming hooves, but I think it'll be something that'll be really valuable anytime there's a sore foot cow. Day one, being able to just check it out. And once I kind of understand how to fix them, it'll be pretty beneficial, I think. Thought I would give you guys an update on how the corn silage situation's going for us right now. We're feeding this ag bag. We filled it last Tuesday. Today's Monday. It's definitely starting to stabilize more. Has a good smell to it. There's a lot of moisture here. See, juice is just running off of it. We're actually really happy with how the cows are doing. The milk hasn't dropped at all at this point. We'll see what the next milk shipment weight is, but intakes have been good. I've been watching the rumination data on our Smax Tech pills in the rumens, and that's actually just inched up a little bit since last week, which I don't know if that means they're doing better, but they definitely haven't dropped off at all, which just shows that their stomachs are still working properly and they're feeling good. It's definitely this BMR silage that we grow made a big difference, I think. If we were growing a conventional corn, I think it would be harder on the cows to try and just feed it green like this. I'm gonna feed the cows right now, so show you guys how it's going with that. We have to cut this plastic back twice a day when you have an 8-foot diameter bag with all this silage that we're feeding. Move through it so quickly. Cut this back and then just shovel the edges in a little bit. We got some young guys. These are my cousin's kids that want to say hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
They enjoy watching the videos. They wanted to be in a video, so. All right, there you go, guys.
All right, you go there.
Yep. Get these cows fed. I actually got all the feeding done except loading the silage out of the bag. I'm gonna get going with this. We'll get this feed run out. good. We're mixing in some fermented forage. The Triticale is really stable, help keep some consistency there, and this new silage is really working out pretty well. I wanted to answer a couple of common questions from my last video. People were worried if we're going to have enough feed this year because we're already cutting into this new silage. We have a good bit of silage acres this year, so I think the bunk should be pretty full, even with the yields not being as good maybe as I was hoping with the dry weather. We also have a neighbor that has some silage to sell. We might end up buying a little bit of extra to make sure everything's as full as it can be this year. The main reason we ran a little short this year is because over the winter we were feeding a higher rate of silage. We had adjusted the ration a little bit because we didn't have as much Triticale in the silo. We have more Triticale going into winter this year than last year. Plus, we're gonna plant a lot of spring forage for next spring, and we'll be able to make a lot more crop, I think. We'll be able to start building up a stockpile of forages. So, might seem like we're running low on feed, but I think we're gonna get caught after. The other thing is we did have the barn very full last winter. The milk price was high. We were milking more cows than ever because we had added a little bit extra space last summer when we built that little extension onto the special needs. We don't need to be running the barn quite that full either the next year here, which will help save a little bit of feed. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.